my Sears, I was trying to figure out a way that I could store my timeline cards and keep them very organized and in great shape so we can use them in the future. And I came across a couple of options on the internet. One option was to keep them stored in a box, like a shoe size box type thing. And I envisioned that getting disorganized and messy really quick. And so another option I saw was to keep them in a binder. And the binder would be a sheet protector that is exactly this size, and then it would go in a smaller size, I believe 6 by 8 or 9 inch binder, which would, when priced out, cost about $20 per binder, and you would need 2 binders for timeline cards and 2 binders for science cards. And that was going to run about $80 total, which is worth it, but I was hoping there was a better way. And so what I came up with was a way to organize the cards in a sheet protector, but also keep them in a normal size binder so that I can store it on my shelf. And personally, I just think this is a cleaner look when it's all together because it's cohesive with the rest of my binders that I have on the shelf, and I just really prefer the look of that. So this is what I came up with, is this binder. It keeps all my cards organized. You can choose to put 4 cards in each, 2 on one side and 2 on the other, or you can just have 2 cards in each so that you can access the information on the back. I'll probably change that later, but for now this is gonna work for us to have 4 on each. And so I'd like to show you how I did these, and what I did is created it so that there was a seal in the center so that it separated the cards, and a little pocket on the side to put them in, and then I sealed up the top. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you how I did that. So I take a regular sheet protector. This is 9 by probably 11.5. I used these from Costco, the premium heavyweight sheet protectors. I believe I paid $10 for this 250 count. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it was probably really close. And this is a more durable one. The heavyweight one is 3.3 mil, but I think you could use any one. I actually had one thinner one in here, and it sealed just fine in the food saver. And as you see, we have a food saver here. Most people got these for a wedding gift. You can probably find them at Goodwill if you don't have one, or likely you have a friend or relative that has one, wasting space in their pantry. So I went ahead and put it to use. I have my sheet protector here. First thing I do is I want to separate the sheets from each other so that I can create a access point from the side here instead of up here at the top. So what I did is cut between the 2 sheets with a pair of scissors, keeping this this seam here intact. You don't want to cut that seam. So you want to cut just below that seam, just right there. So this is how we're going to do it. The easiest way I found to do it is to just start a small cut, and then you just can kind of run your scissors across just along that seam, just like you do wrapping paper. And that kind of creates a pretty clean cut there. So you see how that separates the 2 sheets. All right, and now once that's separated, I want to do 2 things. I want to seal it up at the top so that our cards don't fall out of the side, and I want to seal it through the center so that I can create 2 pockets. So what I do is I open up my food sealer, and there's a sealing strip right here at the front. I just place the top of my sheet right down on that sealing strip. I lock up the sides, and each food saver is a little tiny bit different, but it's all going to be basically the same. And then I just hold down the button. Now, one thing is it's a little loud, so just be aware of that. And then once the green button comes on, that's when it's actually sealing. Before that, it vacuums. Because this isn't set in the vacuum chamber, it's not going to vacuum anything, but it still goes through that process. And I think it seals for about 6 or 7 seconds. I prefer to stop it at about 3 seconds. So after that green light comes on, I just count to 3 and then I stop it. You can go to 7 seconds. It still works, but it just kind of creates a little more of a seal than is necessary. And so I just try to stop it at 3 seconds. So here we go. And I just stop it there. I take it off. And as you can see, hopefully, it's created a very good seal there. Okay? Now we're just going to make one more seal across the center, and it's going to be roughly where that second hole is for the binder hole. So I'm just going to kind of roughly line that hole up to where our sealing strip is. And the other thing that I did just to help me keep it super consistent is I just took a Sharpie marker and I measured one sheet that I wanted to have measured pretty perfect as I could get it. And then I just marked little dots on the top of my food sealer with the Sharpie marker so that I could line up every sheet exactly on those dots. So one corner on one dot and the other corner on the other dot. And then if I see any slack here, I just kind of pull it down. I shut this, I shut the sides, press down. 3 seconds, I lift it up, and I've got my second seam in there just along the center. So see, I still have 2 open pockets, but now it's seamed shut pretty well. Now to put the timeline cards in, pretty easy. You just stick one in there to that pocket, one into that pocket, and you could just leave it like that and then access the information on the reverse side. Or like I said, what we're choosing to do is we're going to just double up on it to save sheets and to save sheet protectors. So that's it. It's pretty easy. If you have the Food Saver, if you don't, go find one at Goodwill or go get on Facebook, see if anybody's got one you can borrow. I'm using this binder for now, but I think I'm actually going to get a bigger one or maybe a more sturdy one. This just happens to be the one that I had in our homeschool room. So far I've got the first set of timeline cards, the Ancient World, and I'm working on the second set right now with the Medieval World, and I've only got a few more. So it looks like I'm actually going to get 2 sets in each binder. This is a 1-inch binder. So I'll just have two binders. You could get a 2-inch binder and get all of them in one if that's what you wanted. This is a pretty flimsy, cheapo dollar one. I think I'm going to upgrade and get a more sturdy one, but for now, this is working, and hopefully you'll find this helpful. Hopefully you'll pass this on if anybody else wants to try to save a little money and find a way to organize their timeline cards too. Thanks for watching. Bye.